Adam.
Hi, Leigh.
Welcome to the Apiary at Meadows Bee Farm. Come on in and I'll show you around. So at Meadows Bee Farm, we are very lucky to work with a program called WOOF, and we often have volunteers from the Worldwide Organic Farming Program. Today we have Maddie, and we're going to go see what Maddie's doing to help us get our beehives ready. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Leigh.
What are you working on?
So I'm actually cleaning out the hives. I'm scraping this propolis, which is these little crusts, and we're cleaning the wax moths that sometimes invade the hives.
Nice. So Maddie is getting propolis here, and propolis is known as the #1 antibiotic in nature. The bees use it, and they use it to protect their hives. We will use a little bit for medicine, but most of it we'll put into an alcohol, dissolve it, and we'll paint back on the hive. Like a hive like this. We'll paint it with the propolis, and that will help our bees stay strong all year. Once that's done, we also will decorate. Like this is a little decorative piece that we put on the hives as well. So thank you, Maddie. I appreciate your help here, getting our bees ready. We're hoping for a really good year. So I'm glad we can teach you what we do.
Thank you.
So when the bees have extra wax, we do take some of it and we clean it up. And I'll show you what it looks like. Here's a little bit of cleaned wax that we then can make medicine with. You can make candles with it. There are all kinds of crafts to do with your beeswax. We use very little of it because most of it we keep for the bees. We do make our own candles, and these are just candle molds. Candles made out of beeswax really last for a long time, and they've been sacred throughout time. So I recommend you trying a little bit of this, and I think you'll find it adds a lot to your dining experience. So here are some hives we've already gotten prepped for this year, and I want to take you through them. These are called a Langstroth hive, and Langstroth hives can either be 8 frame wide or 10 frame wide. And let me just show you one. This is an 8 frame Langstroth hive. Here is your outer cover. Next, you have an inner cover. So the outer cover protects against the elements, and the inner cover makes it easy to work with the bees and not get all the frames stuck to the outer cover. Now this is called a super deep, and when you keep your own bees, you really can take your own decision about what you think the bees need most. And so I have gone ahead and made something called a super deep frame. This is what it will look like. I try not to use any plastic, and I try not to use any metal. I keep the hive from year to year, and I keep these frames intact. As you can see, it's very, very yellow. And I'll show you the wax also, and you can see how this is a typical way. Your beeswax should be this color yellow. Here I'll show you one more. This one, I think this is more interesting. So this one has the structure all the way down to the bottom, which is also okay. It gives the bees a little bit of structure to work with, but again, no plastic, because the bees like to make shapes throughout, and this allows them to build as they think is the right. It also allows them, if you can see the side, they can build the width that they want. In a plastic frame, they don't have that opportunity. They also can make the cell size they want. And as the frame, as they build down, here's what it looks like. Sometimes the bees like to start at the top and work down. Sometimes they like to start at the bottom and work up. It just depends on each family of bees and their decisions. Okay, so I put this together by these staples. These are hive staples, and I'll show you a box of them later. So here, this hive is all one, and it's got a shallow and a deep, which is how I made my super deep. And then you have the first board is a screen board, and then the bottom board. And you put all of that together. In the back we have this board, and this is something that allows us to count, to see if we have mites, wax moths, what color the pollen is. And we just set this up, but the wax is still falling through. That's why you can see things on here. It's got ridges, and it's really important to check and see if you have the varroa mite, which is, we think, one of the worst things right now for the hives. Like our other animals here at Meadows Bee Farm, we want these bees to live in symbiosis and be as comfortable and true to their nature as possible. Everything I'm showing you is a way to get them towards that. So on the beehive, we give every individual hive a name. I usually go through the alphabet and I start with A. This year we'll be on T, and it's my second or third time through the alphabet. I can't really remember with my hives. But here are some of them. Here you see Nasima, Ophelia, Tina, Olga, Ursula, Nina, Venus, Pansy. I often let whoever's on the farm at the time help name them. So this year I think we will do TUVWXYZ and then ABC. So we'll start over, and I hope we have a good year. This allows us to get, if the hive swarms or we do a split, we then will use the same letter like everything else on the farm. So if Olga has a swarm, we'll then use a name like Ophelia or Omega or something like that. And so we can tell from year to year what has happened with the bees. I'd like to show you the box I keep with remedies should you get stung. So one of the things we teach in our farm school is how do you respond if you get a bee sting. Here we have the bee sting relief box. Very simple. So inside, first we have Apis melliflora. This is a homeopathic remedy that really helps with bee stings or any kind of sting. It's for insect bites. Do not take it with coffee. That counteracts it. Next, should you get several stings, is a roll of tape. You can put your tape on top of the stinger and pull it off, and then the stinger comes off right with that. So here I have some lavender oil, and lavender oil is really good as an anti-inflammatory that you can put on top of your sting. Of course, the best thing to use is plantain, and we all have plantain growing outside. There are two different types, and you just chew it up, and then you put it on your sting, and that will really reduce inflammation. The last thing I want to show you is this little card. The card you can just put on your skin and flick off the stinger. So between the card, the lavender, the Apis melliflora in 6C, and the tape, you should be good to go. Hi, welcome to the second floor of our apiary. I wanted to show you around a little bit. So if you look over here, you can see all of our beehive pieces. From the ceiling, we hang our frames. Now, they're hung by size, and I'll just show you a little tour. This is called a super deep. It's a super and a deep put together. This is a medium. Here, we have a screen board. And a screen board goes on the bottom of your hive. Let's see. On top of your bottom board. And I was showing that before, how you set this up. Your bottom board, your screen board, and then your hive would be up on top of that. So we keep everything organized so we can really, really access it quickly should we get a swarm. Now, we don't lend out these pieces to our friends who want to start keeping bees unless they're brand new, because you can get some fungus, and you can share different problems like the varroa mite or the tracheal mite, and you would not want to bring that to a friend's house. So generally you only offer things to friends that are brand new and have never been used. Okay, now moving over here, we have a bar hive. Bar hives have been pretty popular in the past few years. Instead of being vertical like the Langstroth, they're horizontal. Over here we have our suits. So for first-time beekeepers, we let them wear a full suit. And people that are a little bit more experienced, they might wear a half a suit. And then when you're more experienced, you might just wear a hat or a veil. It depends what your comfort level is around the bees. It really doesn't matter. The suits are just kind of hot, and you do have to wash them more often. On this side, we have all the children's suits. So we have kids come a lot, and so we have all the little kids' suits from size 4 up. So they would get this. We have like little kids' gloves and little kids' jackets. So children love to come in here and they love to put on these suits. I suggest if you have children and you want to take them to beehives, invest in a suit for them. You can always pass it down to a niece or nephew, and I think that will really give kids the opportunity to get a new craft. Thank you.